astonished. That's how Mary felt when Simeon gave his strange yet wonderful blessing to Jesus during the presentation of their firstborn son at Jerusalem temple. It is quite amusing, isn't it? Up to this point, Mary had witnessed an angel's prophecy, a visitation by the Holy Spirit, a guiding star shining over their birthplace, and the arrival of praising shepherds. Yet, when Simeon declares the messianic legacy of a child Jesus, Mary is still astonished and amazed. Similarly, even after Joseph's miraculous dream, Mary's virgin birth, and the enthusiastic shepherds, he too is amazed by Simeon's prophecy. What's going on there? It is not as if Jesus' identity had not already been revealed, right? Yet every time someone highlights Jesus' identity, it leads to amazement. In the realm of commerce, marketers will say it requires at least 7 creative touch points for a message to truly stick in the mind of consumers. Clearly, we humans tend to be quite distracted. That's why, as you look around today, you see messages everywhere on billboards, televisions, the internet, social media, websites, t-shirts, magazine ads, and in every conceivable way. So you are constantly surrounded by the message a seller wants you to absorb. The more you see, hear, or experience something, the more likely you are to become curious to consider it and give it a try. The key to successful marketing is creativity and repetition. So the greatest revelation in history. It is understandable that each time Mary and Joseph witness someone else recognizing who Jesus is and his future influence on humanity, they are left speechless and astounded. Their practical and doubtful mindset towards everyday life tends to overshadow the belief in the supernatural and miraculous aspect of their son's identity, even when they have personally witnessed strange and wonderful things. This only changes when they are fully convinced. For Mary and even for Jesus' disciples, this realization does not truly happen until the resurrection, and even then, some still struggle. At our core, we are a practical and skeptical group of people. To truly see something new, we need to encounter it multiple times in various ways that impact us, move us, and convince us that it is genuine. God's presence through Jesus in the world and the continued presence of the Holy Spirit in our lives will always surprise us and challenge our doubts. This is a part of human nature. However, it makes the mission of Jesus quite challenging. From the birth of Jesus and everything that follows, his presentation in the temple, his teenage visit there, his baptism by John, his life, teachings, death, and resurrection serves as an extensive effort by God to get us to notice what he is doing in the world and in our lives. God shares his plan for redemption through the human presence of Jesus. The presence of God, embodied as Emmanuel, God with us, stands as the greatest revelation in history. Despite this, we take a long time to fully comprehend and appreciate this miracle, Simeon and Anna's prophecy of God's plan through Jesus. This might be why Simeon's prophecy resonates so deeply, especially as he addresses Mary, who is the sole surviving parent at the death of Jesus. This child is set for the downfall and elevation of many in Israel and will be a sign opposed to reveal the inner thoughts of many, and a sword will pierce your own soul as well. Jesus as God's ultimate revelation will not only unveil God's plan for salvation, but also possess the power to expose the truth and authenticity within the hearts of everyone he meets. When I see this, I sometimes picture one of those wise sages who, by merely looking at you, seems to be able to delve deep into your soul, understanding your thoughts and feelings precisely. Some of you might have experienced this with your partner, with your husband, or with your wife. Someone who knows you so well that they can perceive what's happening in your heart and mind without you even mentioning it. It's both comforting and at times unsettling. Many parents have this ability to read their children with such accuracy, much to the dismay of their kids. Jesus had a similar natural ability. He could see into the hearts and minds of people and know them deeply. He could discern their flaws and personalities, their hardened hearts or suffering spirits, and whether they had faith in God and sincerity or were driven by ambition or greed. Simeon compares this ability to an intuition that acts like a sword, capable of cutting open and exposing what's inside each one's heart. For Jesus, this sword of truth would not only look into one's heart, but also question that person's intentions, reality, doubts, and faith. The most striking aspect of Simeon's and Anna's prophecies is their vision of Jesus as both the challenger and the sacrificial lamb, endowed with God's power and sacrifice, even as a young child. They foresaw not only Jesus' power to challenge the hearts of people, but also understood that this would lead to opposition, discomfort, sorrow, and tragedy. Mary's joy at Jesus' birth is tempered by an awareness of his future death. While Mary is blessed to bear the Messiah who will unveil the heart of God and humanity, she will also experience profound grief as only a mother can. God is revealed through Jesus. Beauty and tragedy, life and death, joy and sorrow, hope and judgment, these contrasts will characterize the ministry and life of Jesus. Regardless of which side of the sword defines a person's heart, God's presence and power will be revealed, and many will come to recognize the power and glory of God among them. For those who are marginalized, rejected, or voiceless, Jesus will be a source of salvation and hope. For those who misuse power and engage in wickedness, deceit, or betrayal, they will face the sharp edge of that sword and the piercing truth of the words of Jesus. Simeon's prophecy serves both as a blessing and as a warning, indicating that the lives of these parents will be forever changed. Jesus' birth will act as a revelation, ushering in a new era where God makes a bold declaration and transforms the world, bringing about redemption that will both bless and bring mourning and sorrow. Change is always challenging, and growth often involves a period of struggle. Simeon cautions Mary that the future will not be easy, but reassures her that God's favor is with them and her son will have a profound impact on the world. So, are we ready to reveal God to the world? The presence of Jesus today, through the power of the Holy Spirit, continues to challenge and test us, encourage us to question our practical thinking, and prompt us to be mindful of God's work in our lives and in the world. God's revelations are numerous if we open our hearts and recognize Him among us. In our individual lives, Jesus represents the ultimate revelation. If we welcome Him, He will not only reveal Himself to us, but also help us discover our true identity and hope for the future. Every time we open our hearts to Him, we will be in awe. Jesus encompasses many wonderful characteristics, but He is always and forever amazing. Can we, as baptized Christians and as professed religious persons, reveal Jesus to the world through our actions and ministry to the world? Are we ready, as Simeon and Anna prophesied, to struggle forth in our personal commitments to bring Jesus to the world? May our hearts always be filled with the knowledge of the love, truth, and incredible birth and sacrifice of Jesus. May He always be praised.